So first, I wanna showcase something, right? Uh, in case y'all didn't know, one of my famous catchphrases for the show is "I got kids." So, in a typical Blue 51 fashion, I'm gonna wear, you know what I'm saying, my "I got kids" shirt because, you know what I mean, that's my catchphrase. You know what I'm saying? I made it up. I officially made it up. It's my catchphrase. It's been coined. It's been copywritten. It's my catchphrase. Hey, welcome to the podcast today. Hey, commercial break me, Kev. It's, well, y'all get me fired. That was the music. That's all. The topic for today is how heavy are the words from your mother? And the reason why I bring it up is that I was shared a video got shared with me where a I think it's Ayala was doing a podcast or doing an intervention with a mother and her son, and the mother had told the son that she didn't think he was a man, and that she didn't think that he was a man. And she was saying like, "What idea of a man are you going for? Have you trained him to be the man that you're talking about?" And she was like, "Nah." And she was like, "Well, then how you expect him to do it?" He was like, "This man is married to a registered nurse. He has three boys that he's there and present for, and he's sitting there like hurt, listening to his mother basically tell this woman, I don't see my son as a man, because he don't treat me or deal with me the way that I want him to deal with me. Or something. It's a mom, and Ayala was say, she basically checked her and told her that how she speaks to her son and of her son can literally change, like can damage him in a way that's irreversible. Now I think all parents do that, but she was saying specifically the way that a son receives their mother's words, and that traditionally or that in our culture, men would come and take their sons away from the mothers at a certain age, so they can build them up because of how dangerous or how sensitive those words, how much damage the wrong words can inflict on a little boy. I thought that conversation was something that we really don't talk about a lot in the barbershop is how things have affected us negatively, right? We kind of talk about positives and things that have been great, but also curious about how things have sat, how you weathering your damage, or how you weathering your trauma, or how you weathering just the negative parts of your life, you know what I mean? So it's almost like a mental health check, and it also builds off what we talked about last week, which words of wisdom are you most grateful for? So here we go, so I was asking about the moments that might have been so cool, but also resonated in different ways. So first we can go to Kev.
Hey, give me a second because I gotta finish him and I gotta finish
All right, so basically, you're not on the show today. Got it. We're not gonna talk to Kev because Kev don't want to be on the show. Kev doesn't want to be on the show. Uh, Scrapes, you had.
something. Nah, I just got to do something.
I got you, brother. So you care if I interview you, barber?
Motivation. Sir?
You care if I interview you, barber?
Go for it.
All right. Yeah, clip it up, man. You know what I'm saying? They gotta hear you. I was remember my man Scrapes, my main dude, and the question today, Scrapes, is how heavy, like, what are some words that have sat with you that your mother might have said to you, right? Like, words from your, how heavy are the words from your mother? What is something your mom said to you that maybe in that moment she thought she was being helpful, she was trying to build you up or drive home a point, but she might have, hey, picture it, it's a camera. all the animation just made it work. Something that might be that might have sat with you, even though she was whatever, even though she just said something to you that sat with you. You'll never forget this conversation, and it didn't have a positive effect, but it sat with you in a negative way.
Side with you in a negative way?
Oh, something your mom said to you that just like you'll never forget. You'll never forget. Words that your mother said to you that maybe to this day, if you ever think of something your mom said to you that was like, damn, that was tough. That was cold.
You might have to come back to me on this one.
But so mom's always nice to you? He's like, I got a good relationship with my mom. But he goes, his real name's Clarence.
My parents don't got a real good marriage.
I said, I can't think of it, or it's just a hard question in general.
I mean, this is probably a lot. I just don't want, trying to think of a good one, just ain't hit yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So the reason I
But
brought
that
it
way
up
till you
is
hit, but that way till you have kids, that will hit. That will hurt. It starts in the terror.
you're not. God, he was raised that way. Now I was gonna say, the reason I brought it up is because I was watching this video where they were saying that a way a mother talks to her son can do damage that's irreversible. Like you have to that the way that a son receives a mom, the way the part of your heart or your mental or your person that's attached to the words your mother shares with you is so sensitive to what how she says it to you and what she says to you that tearing you down can last a lifetime. So I was curious if you ever had an experience where she said something to you that kind of rocked you. And you looked
Nah,
at her
but
like,
I
damn.
mean, if this came from the dad's house, you forgetting I'm half white. You know what I'm saying? My mom, the white half, so I ain't get like the black knowledge from my mom. You know what I'm saying? Like the question you asking sound like a knowledgeable question. You know, brothers and sisters, we put it out there in a different way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nah, but I'm talking about more like this woman told her son he wasn't a man. She didn't see him as a man. He's a grown man, married to a registered nurse, got 3 sons, takes care of all his kids. Mother said he ain't a man. He's like, what are you talking about? He's literally married to the mother of his children, raising his kids, got a career that he's working. You know what I'm saying? He have a whole family,
Yeah,
whole
that's
life that he's
just
doing. And she was like, I don't see him as a man. And it was like, and it was tearing him up at the table. He was like, I don't get why my mom's like the way she is. I don't like the way he treat me. It was very selfish of him, right? Well, not selfish, but she didn't like the way that he talked and spoke with her, so he decided he wasn't a man, but she was just saying that in retaliation for the fact that she didn't like the way that their communication was. But those
right.
words messed with him a lot. He kept trying to prove his worth to his mother. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. My mom ain't never break it down like that.
Your dad did though?
Nah. I mean, my dad probably said some wild stuff. If you let me sit
Not
here and
wild
think
to
of it
me. I'm
real
talking
quick.
about to you. What's something that was said to you that sat with you? You was like, it not even sat with you like, oh, it was on point. We ain't talking about knowledge. I'm talking about what was the moment, right? Because parents can only take you as far as they can take you. You know what I'm saying? Like your dad can only father you as much as he can
Right.
father you. And then after that, you got to get, life has to teach you those things. People will come into your life that can teach you those lessons or help you weather those storms. But your parents can only take you as far as they can take you. You feel me? Like, same thing with mothers. Mothers can only mother you as far as they've been mothered, as far as their knowledge takes them. After that, you got to find surrogates. You know what I'm saying? You got to find other ways to be mothered. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, man, I had good parents, man. They gave me a kick and good knowledge. I mean,
Bro, this dude sound like he ain't never, yo, for real, I'm actually really saddened by the fact that Scrapes ain't got no stories to share. I was anticipating some good stuff. The one that should have had all the good stories is the boringest one. Now, if Phil can't save me with an entertaining comment, at that point, I hate this barbershop. So we're gonna see, yo, keep it up, Kev.
So Charles Jackson said, "What up, Scrapes?" And then Charles Jackson said, "Hi, Red." I'm wondering why Charles Jackson didn't say hi to Blue.
Charles Jackson, I've been informed that you said hi to Scrapes and Red, yet I'm sitting in this camera in front of you and you have not spoken to me. What's going on, Charles Jackson? What's going on with that? Now you don't. You know you are. Ain't no coming back. Ain't no coming back. Hey, Kev, you ready?
Not really. Give me a second.
This dude ain't ready for nothing. We ain't never had no podcast. Yo, for real. They know it come every Friday. They ain't never ready. Ain't never ready. Hey man, you got time? You got a second?
What's the topic?
Topic is, how heavy are the words from your mother? And the reason I brought that up is because I watched a video where a woman was speaking with her son, and she told her son that she did not see him as a man, right? And that she didn't see him as a man. He's married, 3 kids that he raises, you know, with the mother, all 3 kids, same mother. And he's out here, you know, has a career, clean shaven, no criminal records, no shit, in and out of jail. He's a kid. And the woman was saying that why do you say that to him? And she was like, how all self-reflection. But the main thing was, she was like, the way you speak to your son is so important because it's attached right to his spirit, to his soul, to his person, and you can tear him down in a way that's irreversible. So she was saying that you got to watch how you talk to him. This is right. She says culturally, men come into their sons' lives at a certain age where they spend more time with their fathers to help develop them and protect them from things like that, whether sharpening their skin, or toughening their skin. But we got away from that culturally, where now, you know, a lot of fathers out of the homes, or, you know, do more work, and, you know, we've normalized this, like, single mom is like a normal thing versus being like something that shouldn't be normal, you know? Mm-hmm. So fast forward, I was thinking about, my last podcast was about what words of wisdom are you most grateful for, right? Like a lesson you're most grateful for. And in this situation, I was like, you know, it's kind of the inverse of that, right? What's something that was said to you by your mother that you feel like sat with you in a negative way? You might have had some negative reflections or responses to. So that's what I was asking.
Okay.
You can ask, you can do that. You gotta you gotta put the microphone on the collar so you know what I'm saying, for the people can hear you. You know what I'm saying? Cause we fancy here. We like to get like actual like audio. You know what I'm saying?
See if you can hear me.
I don't care about your answer anymore, Scrapes. You off the pod. You done. You're finished. Your check's in your check. You can pick up your check next Friday. You're done. He don't want to snitch on his mom. It's great.
That's Kev syndrome. As soon as you're done with him,
Then he want to talk. Yeah, as soon as you done talking to him, he want to talk. So what's the conversation? I'm talking to my mans right now. You interrupted my interview. Excuse me. Excuse me. He gave me the microphone back. I didn't even take the microphone from him. I was still trying to probe and see what was going on. Nah, shut up. I went to therapy one time. I went to therapy. Nobody care about your therapy, bro. Nah, he not about that. He gonna take your interview away from you. No, we not. I can't hear you. No, he can't hear you though. Nobody can hear you. Yeah. Nah, no, we not listening. Back to my man. Well, hey, brother, I appreciate you for engaging with me. Nah, we're not doing it. You missed it. Give him a damn microphone.
Let him speak. Let him speak.
We got to, because he's not going to shut the hell up.
I went to therapy.
Nah, you got shit, man. Here, man. Here. Eating wall. This nigga, like, he trying to eat his pain away. What's going on, man? What's going on? What's up, Scrape?
I don't know if my brain allowed me to do it, because listen, I went to therapy the one time. It was sanctioned by parole. It's not like I had.
Yeah, you can go to therapy, bro. It's okay.
Right? And they make you do this little. They try to say like an aggression autobiography. Basically, what they want you to do is tell you that your parents were abusive and all this, and that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, I'm not writing this. I'm like, I can't do it. I'm not. You want me to write bad about my parents? Like, I don't. My dad whooped my ass. Yeah. It's all right. I whoop my son's ass if he do something. They want details of the ass whoopings. What did he use? How did he do it? Where was it at? I can't do it. I can't talk bad about my parents. So I don't think I could. I don't know if I'd be. This is a good topic for me. My loyalty.
No, it ain't
My
loyalty, bro.
Listen. I got like a loyalty lock in
They
here.
done abused you out of it, man.
I got like a.
They can't hurt you no more.
I got like a loyalty lock in here,
There's
man.
nothing loyal.
did he interrupt the other interview to come
To not tell me.
something he could talk about?
Yes, he interrupted
Yeah.
my interview to bring me back over to tell me again that he
tell
couldn't
you
tell
no
me,
again.
so I could be comfortable with this no the
Absolutely.
last time. All right, Scrapes. Hey, man, you are a very loyal son. I'm sure your parents appreciate the fact that on the podcast you wouldn't share a single thing that they said to you
Right.
that might not have sit with you positively. And I'm
Love
sure
you, Mom.
You got extra points. Hey, did your mother watch the pod?
I'm
You
gonna
ain't
send
never
it
shared-
to
You
her.
ain't never shared the pod to her.
I'm gonna send it to
Yeah,
her.
you gonna send this one and let
Yeah,
her
I'm
go.
gonna send it to my mom and tell her you were trying to make me talk shit on her.
I ain't trying to
Nah.
talk. I just said that.
I'm gonna tell my mom that Blue's down here trying to make me talk shit on her.
Tell your mom. You know what?
I'm gonna.
Call your mom. Call your mom.
My mom gonna piece the shit out you.
I can't stand Scrapes. All right, brother. Now that he's wasted a sufficient 10 minutes of our time, let's come back and have this conversation. Cause Jesus, hey Jamal, man, I hope you listening, bro. Cause I'm gonna ask you. Huh? That's what I like to hear. Yeah, I gotta ask you the question too, Jamal. All right, so what's going on? What's the conversation? Or like, you know, I don't want to go back to the whole spill again, but now that we've had that moment where Scrapes can talk about how loyal he is as a son, what's something that was said to you as a child, but from your mother specifically, right? Because I'm curious about words your mom said to you. It might not have been, she might have meant well, but it had an inverse effect. It might have sat with you in a negative way.
Honestly, sometimes it's not what is said, it's what's not said. So my mother was an action person.
Okay.
So, and this ain't talking bad about my mom, because she grew up the way she grew up. And so my mom drank a lot. So she wasn't always around the house. Now, when she was around the house, she cooked, she cleaned, she taught us how to do those things, but it wasn't a lot of conversation in the house. It just wasn't. So in not saying things, you kind of growing up on your own, figuring it out on your own, trying to learn on your own. So it just wasn't
Like you
a lot
didn't
of
learn any
conversation.
language around expressing yourself?
Not
Or like-
around expressing
or-
yourself, yeah.
I read this thing where they said that, you know what, when we was kids, when I was a kid, I guess, and also with you, because it's an older tactic, it was do what I say, right? You say, yo, go clean the dishes. Why? You weren't allowed to say why.
No.
Because why was almost like questioning my authority.
Exactly.
And I was now, looking at it now, there's studies, well, not study, but someone was breaking down that they should ask why. They should ask why, because they only do it because you're bigger and older than when another bigger or older kid says, hey, go take that piece of candy out the store. Excuse me, they're acquiring the skill of just listening, assuming that your age came wisdom to is right. So there's no understanding behind why they're doing it. So they take the candy because they're assuming the authority, right, from someone older and bigger than them. And not even a fear tactic, just they're older and bigger, therefore they're in charge. So I don't ask why, I just go take the piece of candy because I was told to do it. So now they're easily manipulated by people who are older, and why they're easily taken advantage of by older and wiser people. I'm not gonna go into details of what kind of things, but you know what I'm saying? It just opens the doorway for that to be. So by asking why, or even giving, for me, I always give the extra thing, right? Hey, I wanna go here and do this. Can you get up and get dressed? You cannot be late. I have work to go to, so you really have to be on time today. Can you do that for me? You know what I'm saying? Like, I articulate, I let the plan know because I figured that for me and my daughter that worked better, or I felt like I got better results
Oh, you
from
absolutely
that work.
do.
You know what I mean?
You absolutely do. And in her doing the, or leading by the way of do as I say and don't ask any questions, don't question me, it actually taught me the same values that you have. It taught me that lesson that, hey, it's okay to tell a child why. They learn from that why. It's okay to explain things without just saying, do it because I told you to do it.
Now, I ain't gonna lie
That's
to you,
not always
bro.
great. Now,
I ain't
there
gonna-
are
I ain't gonna- I
times
ain't gonna
when I
lie
have
to you.
to
I'll
do
be
it.
like, listen, do what I ask you to do. You can ask me why while you on your way to do it. Don't sit here like you got an option. You know what I'm
there's
saying?
no
Like,
option.
there's, don't
There
don't
is no
don't
option.
don't start acting
Yeah.
like I told you something. It's
There's
like,
no
well, why I
option.
gotta do that? It's
There's
like,
still
nah.
no option.
It's okay. I'm gonna watch this. Just what are we going somewhere? You know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't bother me. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna get ready to go, or I don't want to tell you it was a surprise. You know what I'm saying? Like that part don't bother me, but like why, as if I gotta validate it to you, does kind of bother me. But thinking about it, like she should have her reasons validated because then when somebody says, "Yo, go take that piece of candy," she's like, "Why am I taking that? If you want the candy, why don't you go get?" You know what I'm saying? Like now if the validation gives them discernment in my head, and I really think that actually is something that does mean a lot because you look at the social media and stuff that's going on now. So you would say that your mother, her not talking to you, made you appreciate being spoken to and explained to.
It did. You know, like I think one of the things that we do as adults, as parents, is sometimes we crush our children's inquisitive minds. We do. It's okay to ask me a question. I'm the adult, I'm your parent. I should be able to explain things to you.
I think we normalize breaking our kids. Like, you know how you break a slave? I think that we
Yeah.
learned how to take care of our kids. We have a very slave mentality about how we.
Oh, we still do.
And I hate saying that word, but I'm being real with you.
We still do.
As a kid, it was like they were trying to break me. It wasn't about submission and obedience, because I was submissive and obedient, but they were trying to break me into this situation where it was almost militant, like jump to it. Like I was doing push-ups, thousands of push-ups all the time. It was just push-ups, hundreds, in sets of hundreds, like either 100, maybe 300. Like I was just doing push-ups all the time, and it was cool. It was never like sometimes it was arbitrary. It was hey, give me 50 right quick, just to show that I could do 50. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because they wanted to show somebody, look how strong he is. I'm like, they're not purchasing me. I'm not on the block, but it was like a showcase of my strength. It was looking back,
Yeah,
very
man.
weird. Very weird.
And the craziest part is that you're right, it is militant. It's just like my brother said over here, man, I didn't get a lot of the do push I got beat. I got my butt tore up.
Uh-huh.
But in thinking about doing the push-ups in the military, man, I served 30 years in the military, and I always thought about this. I just made this dude get down here and do 30 push-ups. What did he really learn? He might have questioned my authority, and I told him to jump down there and do some push-ups, but what did he actually learn? He might have got stronger. He might have got bigger. He might be able to pass his fitness test better, but what did he actually learn? Nothing. He learned not to question me again. Is that always the right thing?
In military, I think it's a different breed of person. Like I'm gonna say, like if we on, I don't know. I don't agree. I would never be, but I have to say that for the purpose that those people serve, you don't got time for questions. I need things.
Sometimes you do, though.
Yeah, I agree.
Sometimes you do.
Discernment is, it saves lives.
Yeah.
Saves lives. I agree.
Now, in the middle of a battle, and I tell you to jump over the wall, now's not a time to ask me why am I jumping over the wall. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
But if we're in training, and I'm like, go over that wall. Well, what am I doing on others? Oh, let me explain to you. You're going on the other side of that wall so you can secure it so the rest of us can come over the wall. There is a time to explain and a time to not. But how often am I telling somebody to do something silly like some push-ups in the middle of a battle? Man, I'm just telling you to do that because I'm mad or upset or I'm angry that you asked me a question that I didn't appreciate.
Same way that we raise our voice.
Same way we do it with the kids.
Yeah.
It's the same exact concept. So in not speaking, I actually learned that from my mother. You know what? It's okay for me to take a pause. Even if I get upset that you ask me what I may consider a silly question, I still owe you an explanation or an answer.
I also don't
in
do
those
silly
moments.
questions. I don't do silly questions. Even with my brothers, they're ready to tell you, man. If I ever don't know something or I'm unsure about something, I ask because you're only stupid for that second. You only have to not know something for that 1 second. You can Google it. You can research it. We have the most information available to us
Oh,
in
yeah,
the world.
we do.
There's no excuse to not know something you want to know for more than a few seconds. You know what I'm saying? So I will ask, and they're like, "That's a dumb question." I'm like, "Yeah, it's gonna be dumb right now, and then you're gonna tell me. If you're not gonna tell me, then we don't need to talk. I will find. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
if you're
yeah.
not gonna tell me, then I'll get somebody else to tell me because right now I'm not interested in knowing that I'm dumb. Yet I know I don't know it. That's why I asked you. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't even get offended. I used to get offended, but I don't even get offended
No,
by
I don't.
people that do.
Only
I'm like,
stupid question is a question not asked.
exactly.
That's
Like
the
why
way
would
I
you
feel
not
about
know
it.
something and sit there and not know it? And I cannot stand that. Like if you're not sure, what do? Ask. But I think that that's another lost art. I think that the not talking. I was just telling Scrapes the same thing. That our parents took us as far as they could take us.
Yeah.
Like I don't think my mother or my father were particularly like angry or like abusive or not like they did as much as they could do with the experience that they had, the knowledge that they had, and the willpower they had. They did their best, and their best might have only a father that only had his father till he was 12 only has an idea of what parenting with a father looks like until he was 12, and then from there he has to make it up. You know what I'm saying? So I might not have the best experience and memories of him then. Doesn't mean he didn't love me, didn't try. He just did his best, and I think that I've come to terms with everything wasn't good. You know what I'm saying? Like everything wasn't good. Every bit of advice, every opportunity, every experience wasn't good because they're my mother and my father. Doesn't give them this blanket of goodness. They can be
You're absolutely
wrong,
right.
and it could have been bad, and it could have had an end. You have to. I asked the question today because I'm thinking to myself like, if you don't discern where, not that they failed you, but where you were hurt, where you were damaged, where you were left wanting, then you won't do what you did, right? Because I acknowledged her not speaking to me, though it was my life, it's my mother, I love her. That not speaking affected me in a way where I didn't have it. I didn't know, and I wish I would have known. So you went on to correct that with your kids. You explain, you talk, you let them know because you understand what the other end of that is.
Absolutely.
I was just telling my kid that. I was like, listen, I'm here, I got you, I'm talking to you. You raise my voice. I'm loud as hell in this barbershop. I don't curse at you because I got cursed at. I don't put my hands on you because I got people put their hands on me as a kid to the point where I don't even like to be touched without like permission. Like I don't like so I avoid that because I know what the other end of that looks like. So I treat you differently.
True.
But maybe I'm treating you differently, and like you know how a nice guy, they're like you're too nice, so he goes and be mean, but now he's just an asshole. Maybe I'm too nice to you, and I don't hold you accountable for some of your actions. So I apologize if I haven't been stern enough in other degrees, but I only know this over here, and I know that this ain't what I want
I'm
for
not
you.
going to that
Yeah, I
extreme.
don't want to do this to you. So I like it over here, and you got to appreciate this, but you don't have no concept of it, so I'm at a loss. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm at a loss. Because in this situation, from my memories, this is where I get punched in my jaw. But I'm talking to you. She's like, oh, snap. I'm like, no, I'm talking to you. But in my memories, this is clear. This is a clear transgression. This was worthy of a physical punishment.
Oh, yeah.
And a few hundred push-ups. Here you are having a conversation quietly in the hallway. You know what I'm saying? And you don't know the other end. But let me tell you, it's a dark place that I came from that I don't want to take you to. You
Don't
know what I'm
ever
saying?
get me to
I
that
don't want to
place.
take you there. I don't want to be there. I refuse to let me go over there because I'm grown now. They can't hurt me no more. They can't hurt me no more. So I'm trying to figure it out with my kid. But I agree with that. I think that what doesn't get said also has the same effect as what does get said. I think that nonverbal communication is a part of it. So you say your mother nonverbally. I think that's dope. So you say your way that you've changed that is that when did you realize that not talking was affected you?
Honestly, it was probably right at my tail end of the high school years. You know, when people are starting to ask questions, what are you doing with your life? Where are you going? not being funny, but hey, man, we didn't have conversations in my house about
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
what
Like,
the next step is. The next step was you turning 18, you going somewhere.
man.
That's the story.
That's the day.
That's it.
Did they really did it to you when you turned 18?
Yeah, I mean, I made a decision I was going to join the military, but even in even in that step, the first comment that I got from my mom was, "Why do you want to do that? That's no place for a black man." I mean, that's the Vietnam associated era. My uncles were drafted into Vietnam, so I understood where she was coming from.
Yeah.
But it was a different era, different time, and I had to make a choice for myself.
Yeah, I
But
get that.
even in that,
Go around, bro.
it wasn't. It was never you should apply for school. You should go to college. You should. Here's how grants work. Here's how this works. Those conversations
You've
were
always
not
been really
happening.
good at math, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why don't you pursue something in there?
Those conversations didn't happen. Generally, my mom talked in what we call the country slang. Statements like, "Boy, you can be some dumb, but don't be plumb dumb." And you like, I'm left to ponder, what does that actually mean?
How do I apply that
How
to
do
my
I apply
life?
that to my life? Now I can apply it clearly because I'm almost 50 years old, so I can apply it now. But then I'm like, what is she talking about?
She just gave you a piece of string
that,
and said,
that was
"Figure this out."
that was some great advice you just gave me. All right, I appreciate that. But those were the kind of conversations that we had. So it just wasn't a lot of talking. So you left it, and I'm thankful that I made the decision I made because I could have went down the other path that I was already leaning toward. I mean, I was arrested as a juvenile and stealing cars and doing whatever else I was doing. So that was my way to say, you know what? If I don't write my life for myself because I'm not getting any direction, I'm just gonna be over here left to
So
figure it
you're
out the
telling
wrong
me
way.
the fact that you were not asked questions, so when you were asked questions, would you say it was like a breath of fresh air, or was it so uncomfortable? Like when you were asked the questions, you realized that you had no concept on how to process and answer those questions?
I actually didn't. It was a breath of fresh air when I finally had children. My first child I had when I was 21. And when she was old enough to start asking questions, 4 and 5 years old, I'm still like 26, 27. So I'm still kind of fresh off of the way that I grew up. And so when she's at a young age asking me questions, and all I can think in my mind is, you ain't supposed to ask me shit. It felt good, but at the same time, it was like, who are you? It was a conflicting thing right there, man, because this is the way I grew up. You don't ask me nothing, you just do exactly what I told you to do.
Because I said
you
so.
4 and 5 years old. Who are you to question me?
Man,
So, but after it took a couple of years, and then finally I was like, man, I can't have this type of hold on me to believe that I should be this same person that I grew up as, or the same person that raised me, that I have to do that I have to parent that way. And so it felt good, to get that.
you realized the utility.
Openness.
It was like
I
the utility of not speaking was actually like it doesn't actually serve. The same way those push-ups. What are they actually learning? Like the utility of it was like, when do I need silence to teach a lesson? It doesn't teach the lesson.
It doesn't teach a lesson. Silence
Yeah.
doesn't.
You don't go to school and sit in silence. You go to school and get seminars, workshops, activities. There's like 4 different ways that they try to like teach you information.
man.
None of that consists of.
It doesn't.
Come in and be silent.
And I really realized that at a certain point when I said, toward my end of high school years, I realized the transition that I had is now I'm becoming a man in my eyes and in my mind. So it was even less conversation. And I refused to get to that point in my life with my own children where you just don't talk to me. You see what I'm saying? You not talking becomes we don't talk. Because you're not saying anything to me, what do I need to say to you? And so I'm like, man, I can't go down that path and keep going where you my child, and by the time you hit 15, 16, you just in the house and I'm just in the house? Like we roommates? No, that don't exist.
I love that, man. I think
you have to talk.
I think that's dope.
Because there's gonna be a time in their life where they really gonna need to talk. And if you haven't formed that bond, who are they gonna talk to?
The streets.
It won't be you.
Yeah.
Exactly. The streets.
Let me go ask this old man. Hey man, I appreciate you,
Oh,
bro.
yeah,
Cause
brother.
Grace is trying to hold me back today,
Oh, yeah.
man. He's trying to hold me back. He didn't want me to be great. Call your mother,
I
Grace.
tried to stay away from the counseling portion of that too, by the way, because I was about to go deep talking about Freud and everybody else.
Nah, you ain't gotta stay away from him, man. That's what we here for. It's a barbershop. What's up, old man? You mind if I interview your barber? I mean, I know it's kind of silly. I just interviewed you.
Y'all bring us this way. Y'all could have kept talking.
Nah, you don't care about the barbershop,
Let me take
man.
this off real quick.
Okay.
You're selfish, bro. You don't care about nothing. I'm gonna put it right here because I just like it.
I'm talking on his time.
What's up, Phil?
How you doing?
How you doing?
All right, man. Feeling
You all
great.
right?
Feeling great.
You feeling great? Having a good day? Greatness?
Yeah, man.
All right, well, here we go. Here's a question for the day, Brody.
Oh.
How heavy are the words from your mom? What I mean by that is, what's something your mother said to you as a kid that sat with you as an adult that you feel like affected you in a negative way, or like Like how heavy, like the way she talk. You know how, you know what I'm saying, you get frustrated with your kids and you might say some wild stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, damn, my bad. You know what I mean? Like I was angry, I shouldn't have said that, right? What's something you experienced from your mom growing up that might have sat with you in a way? Or didn't say, because my man just
Well,
you gotta keep moving, man. My man need his haircut.
How,
We can't- yeah,
I'm
nah.
thinking about, there's a few things. My mom used to snap, man. And growing up without my dad, I knew him and everything, but he wasn't in the house. So she like, one time, she wanted me to get her something. She was on the phone, I wanted her attention. And she wanted something from the stove, a burger or something. And I went and got it. And I'm like, Mom, why don't you see I'm on the phone? I remember that day. She said, Mom, why don't you see I'm on the phone? She said, go get me another hamburger or something. And I stomped off and got it and did like that and shoved it in her hand and walked away and stomped away. That plate went right past my and smacked the door and the bird. She almost bust me in the head with that whole plate. And I'm like, I'm not gonna do that no more. You know what
I
I'm saying?
specifically asked for words. You telling me about child abuse. Listen, brother.
Yeah, that's something that make it. So
Listen,
my point is,
I'm not
so
gonna
I said,
lie to
no,
you.
listen, I'm driving here. Look.
Okay.
What she said affected me like, always be like, handle somebody's stuff kindly, no matter if you upset or not, especially to come to food, because, you know, you can, you know, don't treat people like that. Even though they treat you a certain way and give you no attention, don't use that same energy. Don't give that energy back. There's repercussions behind that. So I learned that from her.
But her almost bust you in the head with a
almost busting the
plate.
head. I learned, hey, don't do that. That could go for anybody. You know what I'm saying? Somebody say, hey.
So it's hard for me to have this conversation mainly because I was thinking about words, right? And even though like that's a,
Because you said negative.
yeah, no, affected you negatively, and I can understand that clearly was a moment for you that sat with you for a long time. But that's abuse, my nigga. Like,
She
you
didn't
know,
hit me, but almost hit me.
But I don't know a lot of scenarios
Yeah, a lot
where I
of
can
abuse-
throw.
abuse
Wait,
is
yeah,
funny.
I know. Hey. I knew you was gonna have some stories, so let me just readjust how I asked the question.
Go ahead.
I want to know something that she said to you, right? Like think about conversations you had, or not arguments, times she was reprimanding you, where she might have said something that was more left than right, right? Like, you know, that's why you ain't gonna be like your daddy. You know what I'm saying? Like things like, you know, like it's a button or it's a sensitive spot. And now as a grown man, it's carried over into you being a grown man. Well, that's a sensitive spot for you. Like for me, I got physically reprimanded more than I needed. I didn't need to be hit or punished as much as I did. So now I have an apprehension with touching me or my things. Don't touch my things. Don't touch me. No matter who you are, keep your hands to yourself. Because I did enough time. I did enough time
Right.
in a hole.
And now you grown, like you ain't having that no more.
Nah, I don't let nobody touch me. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
I don't want. It don't matter what's going on. Even if I'm in an altercation, like especially if there's an altercation, keep your hands to yourself. Don't touch me if I'm altercating with somebody else, because I don't like the idea of you restricting me from doing what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like I have a really, there's a physical boundary that's very attached to the way that my physical boundaries weren't respected when I was a kid. So it has an inverse, has a negative effect, right? But that's a physical thing. So it's a conversation, right? That you could think back with your moms that sat with you in a negative way, or a conversation you didn't have, right? Something like, you know, maybe you needed a conversation, like maybe there's a passing of a pet or something like that, and you needed a conversation. There was no words, and you're like, I'll always look, look back. I wish she had spoken to me then. You know what I'm saying? There's a deeper conversation than just she tried to hit me with a plate, even though that's a great story.
Yeah.
That's a great story. You know how many times I've hit people with plates in my mind? Like
Nah, my mom did.
It's a war zone in this joint.
Yeah, I learned my mom was crazy. I had to learn that. And she used to fight all the time. And I had to grow up and learn that later. But how she was.
You said the dad was in the house, right?
Nah.
You ever think she ever give you you ever caught any animosity that was meant for like a man of the house, even though you wasn't the man of the house? You ever feel like you got man of the house
yeah.
animosity
I know I ain't do
sometimes?
nothing. And she beat me so bad. And I knew I didn't do nothing to deserve
Look,
that.
stop talking about how you abuse. We know the woman abuse. Look, nigga,
Right,
we got to
right,
put that
right,
on the pod. Hey, how y'all doing today out there in the internet world? We grew up different, man. It's different time.
Well, what I'm saying is sometimes she took things out on me that I know I didn't have. It wasn't that deep. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh, she's emotional. And I learned that it's not me. It's her. I learned that at a young age it's really not me. From how she responded in certain ways. I'm like, I know I ain't deserve that. You know what I'm saying? I said, but that's my mom. I'm going to love her anyway. And I stepped.
Do you think you accept negative behavior from women more frequently because of that?
Yeah.
Do you think that it's like it changed the dial? You know how like normally
Yeah.
it was like none of
Like,
this,
yeah.
but because you kept moving the line for your mom, you now move the line for people that you care about.
Right, right. So it made me learn to have more patience. My mom did teach me that from her behavior, to have more patience with people, because sometimes they do things they don't mean.
Do you ever think that you might have learned too much patience? Like your boundary setting is a little too flippant?
Little,
Because
depends.
I mean, like throwing a plate at you, and being like,
That's just that's something light.
it's not me, it's her. You
Right.
know what I mean? And she's just emotional right now, so I'm gonna
Right.
accept the behavior. Do you think, like,
And
in your
that did
relationships,
carry on into relationships and stuff
Where,
like that, where
they
I
might do
accept
some
their
wild
behavior and I
stuff.
should be like saw the red flags, even though I'm looking right at them, and I'm like, nah, she just emotional.
she's just
I brush
emotional
it
right
off.
now, it'll be all right later.
Yeah.
She'll calm down, because my mom always calmed down, so she'll calm down too.
Yeah.
And not taking it as a part that that's just who they are.
And it actually works because they do calm down and realize what they did and come back a little nicer and try not to do that.
Yeah, but wouldn't it
again.
just be better to be with somebody that wouldn't violate you?
Yeah, but sometimes you give, but then some people appreciate you giving them the second chance too.
This nigga missing the point.
I ain't missing the point. I'm not missing the point. I'm just
No,
saying.
hear me on this, all right? What if your mother had been more dialed in, right?
Mm-hmm.
A little less crazy and off the handle. What if you developed stronger boundaries so that you can accept crazy and out of bounds behavior from
Right.
women? What if the only reason the women that you're attracted to do wild things is because the precursor to the women that you date came from
That's
your
not
mother?
real. That's not.
That's not real?
Nah, that's not real with me. I don't look for them crazy girls like that.
Okay.
It ain't. They nice. They nice to me. I'm nice to them. You know, but if they end up going crazy, I'm cool with that too, because I know they all right. I'm cool with that until they get too far. I'm like, hey, man, I got to stop.
Hey, ain't nothing more to say about that, but hey, man, I think that it's cool that you here and that do you feel you healed from the things you experienced with your
Oh
mom?
hell yeah.
You think you healed from them?
Yeah, got to. Don't kill you, make you stronger, brother.
How do you think you got stronger from your interactions with your mom?
Having patience for people who don't know, or just been around crazy people, or when I am around somebody crazy, I know how to handle it because of her.
Oh, you got crazy. You a crazy handler. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You wanna put it
you
that
got
way.
crazy handles. Okay. Nah, I like that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody crazy be like, somebody quick, get the Phil. Phil comes up. I got this. You want a hamburger?
much.
Here, eat this.
Right. You know how to take. You know. And then I see my mother treating other people that other people like, nah, don't mess with that person. My mom would be the one to go to him like, come here, let me talk to you, or what do you need and stuff like that. And then they appreciate it. And I see people right now to this day knocking on the door, is mom okay? But they be out there being crazy, but they come check on my mom. You need your trash empty. You need anything, Miss Pearl, this and that there. And they check on my mom. You know, you feel, son, da-da-da-da-da.
I ain't saying the mom's all bad. I was talking about you and your mother relationship. Don't tell me
I know
about
you
these
talking about
random.
that.
I don't care about these
But I'm saying
people. I
the
care
point
about
that-
you, bro.
The
You
point that
good?
when you treat people nice, they treat you nice no matter how
Does she
crazy
treat
they
you
are.
nice though?
Yes.
Okay, just
Yeah.
making sure you
That's
good.
what I'm saying.
All right?
Out of the craziness, they come back and
I
treat
don't
you
care
nice.
about all the crazy. I care
Because you
about you,
accepted
Phil.
them. Because you accepted them.
As
So
long
they
as you
accept
good.
you back.
Hey, are you good though?
So that's what I learned from the being crazy. The
Was that
acceptance.
was the acceptance of crazy?
Yeah. And sometimes they come back and bless
Give
you
me my damn
later
microphone, because I feel like, you know
get
what,
the
me and Miss Pearl gonna talk, because I don't like what she did to you, bro. All right, she did. Hey, 2 questions. You okay if I interview your barber? Sure. How you doing, brother? I ain't say what up to you yet, man. You all right? Hey,
man, how you?
what's up, man? You know what it is, bro.
I do know what it is.
Barbershop Friday with the homie, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
you weren't here last Friday, so
My
you
mic sound nice. Check 1, check 2. Good.
Good. All right, so the conversation last week was what was a lesson what's a lesson that you learned in life that you're most grateful for? As a kid growing up, what was the lesson you were most grateful for? That was the question last week.
Okay.
Right? You didn't get a chance to answer that, and I definitely wanted to make sure that I spun back around to hit you with that joint.
Okay.
What was a lesson in life that you're most grateful for?
Hard work. Continue to
Who'd
hard
you learn
work.
it
Not
from?
discipline, not being the way I was raised. Just
From your mother and father, like
yeah,
that?
staying disciplined, having chores, having responsibilities at an early age. You know, just preparing me for reality.
Was there a conversation that you ever had with your mother and father that discipline was? If you had to share a conversation you had with your mother and father, what's the conversation?
Yeah. One, take care of the chores and responsibilities that I knew I had to do, and 2, if I don't watch it, I'm gonna be out there digging ditches. That was it.
Digging ditches is crazy.
I said, hell no, I don't want to dig no ditch.
What about you, bro? You already here. You
work.
might as well answer, man. What lesson in life are you most grateful for?
You know, actually, both my parents and my wrestling coach said this. They said, do the right thing even when nobody's watching.
You apply that?
I try to apply that every single day of my life.
I didn't put the microphone to him, but he said he applies it every day. It's like I forgot he ain't got no damn mic. My bad, Brody. That's great. I like that, John. I use that every once in a while with my kid. But I think I use it a little differently. I say, if I tell you and you do things and you know the right thing to do when I'm around, my goal is that when I'm not around, you continue to do those things. But if the reality is that you do something different when you're not around me, what you practice, you get good at.
I like that.
That's my biggest thing. What you practice, you get good at. Down to how you talk about me, how you talk about people. The thing you do, whether you connect to it or not, is the thing you're going to get better at. So if you come home and you lie to me all the time, you get good at lying to me. You get good at lying and pretending. And I won't know. But the person you really are is going to be out there doing things. And I can't, my goal isn't to, I'm not here to put food on the table. I'm with you. We go through this together, you know what I'm saying? So like, if you don't equip me with the right stuff, you in outer space, I don't have my spacesuit, I'm gonna die. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't protect you if you don't give me the information. You gotta equip me to be in your corner. So lying to me doesn't help you, you know what I'm saying? So like what you practice, you get good at. That's always like that's like that same way of be good all the time, you know what I'm saying? Like do the right thing even when nobody's watching. Right. It's kinda like even when I'm not around, I'm hoping that the things that you do when you're with me, we do the same thing all the time so you get consistency, you work that muscle. Even if you pretend here and do the right thing, I'm hoping you build up enough of that where you know where the right thing is at. So when you get tired of doing the wrong thing, you can go back to doing the right thing. You know what I mean? But hey, man, the kids are buttheads. Kids are buttheads, bro. Like, I want you to know, like, kids are buttheads. They're not the nicest people. They're not.
I'll just see future for 7 years. I got you.
Yeah, they're different. So today's conversation, though, is because I was thinking about that. I watched this video with I think it was Ayala. She's sitting down with, he's being the man of the house. He's married to the woman he has children with. He's not in and out of jail. You know what I'm saying? She says, her mother goes and tells the son, I do not see you as a man. In front of Ayala. He said, what? Why would you, what is your metric of a man? She was like that, is the metric of a man something you've taught to your son? Have you taught him this metric that you're measuring him by? She was like, have you raised him in that metric? She was like, not really, right? So how do you expect him to be something that you didn't teach him how to be, right? You didn't give him that metric. He doesn't know what you're measuring him by, right? And she was like, well, the way he talks and the way he does, he goes, do you hear what you're saying then, right? This is this man's accomplishments, and you say you're not proud of him as a man. You don't see him as a man. And he's doing all these things that socially are very masculine. And he's doing it, and his son's just sitting there. You see his face, right? He's realizing that his mother doesn't really mess with him. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. In this conversation. Ayala said this, that was the reason I brought it to the pod, was that she said, do you know that the way you speak to him is connected to the coils in his heart? And that you can make or break this boy by the way you talk to him.
Who said that to him?
Ayala said it to
okay.
his mother. Mm-hmm. To his mother. Like, you were directly attached in that culturally, the men would come and take their sons away from the mothers at a certain age and teach them how to be men. They thicken their skin, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas culturally now, we don't do that. There's no more men taking these sons on these journeys or these, it's not necessarily no more. It's not as frequent. It's not as normalized, right? Mm-hmm. It's more normal for a mother to take their sons on their own, but like, they do these things and they can't teach them how to receive it, and they talk to them in a way in their emotions or when they outburst that they will damage these boys in a way that they can't repair from. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Be it boundaries setting or moving, be it self-value, how they view themselves, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Or even the syndrome where, they go out and find broken women that resemble their mothers because they're trying to be the man in their mother's lives. So they take on these women that are incapable of loving them, and they stick with these women through these dramatic and traumatic situations, trying to be the man that their mother always needed in that they thought their mother needed in their lives. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So it made me think a lot. I was like, dang, you know what I'm saying? How do the moms in the barbershop, how do the mothers, like, what is something? And it might not have been conscious or purposeful, right? Because his mom was just like, he is a man. It's just that, I want him to speak to value me differently. And I was like, that's where you need to be at then. Because telling him he's not a man is actually cutting this man in a way that he doesn't deserve that. You know what I'm saying? So I ask you, what's a conversation you might have had with your mom? Well, she means well. All parents normally mean well. They're doing their best. But what's a conversation that was had with you that, looking back, or not had with you, that looking back, do you feel like has sat, you had to recover from, basically?
Yeah. So it's about what she didn't do, and she's a, how can I put this? She believes in the best of people. Like, she knows evil exists, but she expects, or she thinks that, she looks at the best in everybody.
People are naturally good.
Right.
Evil exists, but everybody's naturally good.
Naturally good, and which is far from the truth. So what I think is, she did not warn or prepare me how evil these wenches could be. I'm trying not to cuss. You know what I mean?
So am I. I don't know why. Today just feels like a
Yeah.
non-cursing day.
Well, after I seen who was your viewers, I was like, damn, I can't. You know what I mean? Can't cuss in front of Auntie.
Oh, you peeped. Oh, yeah, I forgot. He came through. He came through the other day.
I said, damn, you got me out here acting the fool in front of Auntie. Auntie ain't supposed to see all that.
Everywhere I go, man, everybody's a viewer.
And I'm like, damn, man, we're going to have to, we have to do something after dark. Auntie, don't watch that after dark.
Everybody a viewer, bro.
Don't watch that after dark.
Ain't no non-viewers, bro. This is Barbershop Friday. We all
Yeah,
got viewers.
man. Like, I knew that, you could see them. You know what I mean? Like, you could see the chicks in school and all of that. Like, oh, she ain't no good. But there's also chicks that present themselves as good, and they try very hard to present themselves as what they not. And really, they got an ulterior motive to destroy your ass like cocaine. You know what I mean?
So you think that because your mother saw the good in everybody, she ill-prepared you to deal with the bad?
Yeah, and women.
But how did she teach you how to deal with women?
How did she not? That's your first lesson on dealing with women.
But if she was always good, wouldn't you just naturally be attracted to good women? I
Right.
feel like it's a
so,
weird.
So what I did was I would think that when I seen something good, I really thought that you were really good, as opposed to
as
letting.
good as your mom's, like when
Yeah.
they were good. You were like,
you good?
Mom's always
you good? But there's people that are this way, but they
Wolf
can act
in
like
sheep's
this.
clothing.
Like, oh, you dirty mug. You know what I mean? And it sounds real plain, but it's a lot deeper than that. You know what I mean?
No. You know what? This woman said on another, I'll be watching the pod because I'll be trying to find my pod thing. This woman said, she was talking to a group of women, and she said that men are the prize, right?
Makes sense to
And
me.
she said before they jump and try to kill me in the comments, she's like, men are the prize because women marry who they can, men marry who they want.
Yep.
And you can think it, you can flip it however you want, but the reality is that a woman will marry who they can. You wait around till somebody comes to you and asks you. If a man never asks you, will never get married. Where men marry who they want to marry. They say, you know what, this is the one I want to get. They pick and they marry the person.
Right.
So the prize is the because you're waiting on the shelf. You're like a puppy in a store. You know what I'm saying? She was like, and she goes, and another thing is, and there's women out here who are undeserving of these men. They get a man that will choose them, and they're undeserving of it. They're wolf in sheep clothing. You know what I'm saying? That they're out here and they just sucking the blood, or getting the money, or getting the time, or getting the patience. They just want all the luxury that comes with it, but they don't want to do any of the work that maintains it, right? And then she went on to say that you will never convince me to tell my son that he is not the prize to one of your daughters. If he dates one of your daughters, you will never convince me that my son, the son that she has, will ever not be the prize. And I thought about it that way.
I like the way she's thinking.
If you think it like, as a woman, she was like, my son is the prize. Your daughter is lucky if my son chooses her. Not because your daughter isn't valuable, but because my son is a good man. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, damn, bro, like, I don't know. So I guess I put that back into the idea of like, even that mother knew that there are women that are undeserving of good men. And she was training her son up to view himself, to value himself, right? See, another joint where Shorty was like, I hate a nigga that know his value, know his worth. She said, I hate, different joint, different pod. She was like, I hate a no one's his worth ass dude. She said, I can't, nothing worse than a dude that, I don't know, where y'all learn that at? She's like, I can't stand a dude that know his value. Like, she want to do that, go and chase her, simp, pay for things, send gifts. A dude that know his value, he ain't gonna do all that. He gonna take you on a coffee date and ask you to talk, try to get to know you. She's like, I hate that. Hate a dude try to get to know me. Don't try.
That's the wolf.
That's legit. Wolf. She was like, and they was laughing. She was kind of joking, but kind of serious. You know what I'm saying?
She knows how to play her part.
Bruh,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. It was funny because it was funny listening to her because she was kind of like, she was doing it like a cousin would do it. You know what I'm saying? Like Mina would say, you know what I'm saying? Like I hate a nose for a fact. Where it's like a joke because you know she don't want you to not value yourself, but at the same time she like what comes with it is work.
Man, you gotta make me work hard. I didn't even feel like showing up for practice today, and now I got a whole game.
Now I gotta reciprocate. I gotta be patient.
man,
I gotta problem solve.
My son works. Like
I gotta end conversations, disagreeing, and still move forward. Like I might not get the emotional resolution I'm looking for in this
the
conversation.
challenge to grow.
Man,
Oh my God.
What? We're not gonna always agree.
You seen that one where was it man, what's her name? Ali I always mess her name up. Shazard, something like that.
Is there a therapist?
She's not a therapist, but she be giving therapy. She might be a therapist, but she was like, girls, black women in America, they don't age past 16 mentally.
Yeah, I seen that.
Unless they offered new information.
Yeah,
And
she
they
said when you
can't just
deal
be
with her,
offered, they got to actually take the information.
she said you got to deal with them like you're talking to a teenager.
And
you
boy,
man, the comments
she
in that
ain't
joint.
lying.
The comments in that joint. So
Unless
you would
they offer
say
new
that your
information.
mother ill prepared you for the discernment of dealing
Well,
with
she
women.
just
that aren't.
wasn't warning me. You know what I mean? Like, you know, matter of fact, there's a rap song out right now. It's a little old. It came out this year with, drawing a blank. What's the dude from Cash Money that just came home? Juvie and Two Times, Finesse Two Times.
Okay.
And in the rap song, Finesse Two Times was like, my mom told me that these women are poison. Damn, why I ain't listen? You know what I mean? So like, hey, be careful who you choose. These chicks out here, you know what I mean? It was like, it's what she wasn't doing. Like, hey, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, be careful of this, be careful of this, be careful of this. But in talking about her own gender, it wasn't like be careful, you know, or don't get the wrong one. It was just like, you know, she just left that one alone. I guess she assumed I was gonna figure it out or whatever, and I did, but you know.
Sometimes you gotta take your lumps, brother. Hey man, same question to you, bro. What's not a lesson, but what's something that you know was spoken to with your moms or conversation you had with your mother figure that sat with you in a way where looking back, you're like, you know what, she probably could have done that differently. It just didn't sit well. You felt you had to recover from it. See, mugs can't hold their mothers accountable. You the second white person they ain't want to say nothing about their mother. Like, it's okay, she can't hurt you here.
No, it's
Nah, I'm serious, yo. They be like, I love you, mom. Like, your mom don't watch this fucking podcast, bro. You could talk about your mom.
I'm thinking about it.
My bad.
Sorry.
She was complaining about her mom one time. Seemingly out of nowhere, and it seemed a little harsh. And I love my grandma very much. And so, I mean, I know, like, I wasn't too young, but I knew that, like, you know, parents and their parents have their own dynamic, and I'm a kid, right? And I don't know everything, but I was like, man, grandma's pretty great. You know, like, you're kind of shit talking my grandma right now. Like, that's not cool. And that took a while to really kind of.
Was it the first time you experienced your mom talking negatively about someone you cared about? Like, you ever get the dad talking, a dad bash?
No.
So it probably was the first time you dealt with her talking about.
Thought about a grandparent, yeah. And I was like, that's not cool.
What do you think that did for you? Like, did that give you some kind of apprehension with trust, or like did you view it like? Because like I was saying with Phil. Phil said his mom would go on these like snaps. She would snap, so he's more patient with people snapping at him, which to me isn't healthy. But he's like, you know, he has a further boundary for how frequently somebody snap. For Sean, his mom was super nice, so he thought that, you know, now when he sees nice girls, it's an apprehension for him, right? He's like, how nice are you? Are you really nice? See, a nice girl doesn't sit the same way it sits for me because of his mom. You know what I'm saying?
Kindness and niceness are two very different things. Like, my mother is from Long Island, and she's a New Yorker. She's like an old school New Yorker. So she's extremely kind and generous. She'll give you the shirt off her back. She'll feed you, give you a place to anything you need. But she'll tell you exactly how she thinks it is, without regard for your feelings, because the truth is the truth, right? And then sometimes she hasn't seen it fully or exactly the whole way, and she still applied that old school Long Island mentality to it. And it's like, hey, I'm old enough to see it's not black and white like that, you know. So there were times I had, you know, because I'd say to me, family is the most important thing in my life. And I don't know, I love everybody in my family equally. Doesn't mean I like them equally, but I love them equally. And, you know, that was something I had to get over. For sure.
I've noticed that when you speak on anybody, like you said, family and your mom, you always gave a compliment first before you gave a critique, and then you ended it with a compliment. You did the compliment sandwich for art. We talked about your mom. You're like, oh, my mom.
psychoanalyst ass, man.
I'm just saying,
Damn,
I
why you
noticed.
coming in the barbershop
I
with all
noticed that you
man?
always give a compliment first, almost like you need to make sure that, like, you know, I don't dislike the person when you hold them accountable for whatever it is.
Well, you know why? Because I think I owe everything to my parents. I wouldn't be the person I am today without them. They were very generous. They did their best, and I'm very, very blessed to have had them in my life.
Mom, if you're watching this, he loves you. I got you, bro. Don't worry.
My mama's good.
But the reason I say it only because, like, I do think it's a psychoanalyst kind of thing, right? Because I'm asking you a question. I'm asking you to reflect on your experience as a kid, and then look at and reflect on your experience as an adult, and how your experience as a kid has affected you. Because honestly, not even about the therapy part of it, right? The mental health part of it. Sure. Because I asked about what life lesson do you the first one was what life lesson like which one do you appreciate the most, right? Cool. Becomes like a core value. It becomes the catalyst. You built yourself on that lesson. Discipline.
So let me go a little bit further on that. I got a 3-year-old who'll be 4 in January.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. He's on the spectrum, and he's perfect in every single way. And because of what I was taught in family, know he's perfect in every way and deserving of every single thing I can do for him too. So, you know, it's unquestionable, right? It's to me, it's like the only black and white in the world, other than you gotta eat, right? We all gotta eat, right?
No.
That's
I hear
black
what
and
you're
white.
saying. The black and white in the world is
Family, man. You got family at the end of the day, and
family ain't always the ones you got blood with, though, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I will tell you that now. Blood is not
Brother-
always family.
Brother from another mother too. My best friend that I ever had, he passed away 3 years ago. I've known him ever since kindergarten. I think about him every day. Yeah. So.
Nah, I get, you know what I'm saying? Family, definitely. I think, well, I was gonna bring, well, a tie-in for that is that I was saying earlier is that your parents take you as far as they can take you. Yeah. They're equipped with what they had, their experience, their life, and the lessons they want to give you, and they take you as far as they can take you with those lessons. And after that, it becomes, the world will start giving you people in your life to give you the other lessons to fill in the gaps, you know what I'm saying? So you start building family outside of that for the things that you want to get.
You want something cool? There's a therapist I've seen about 10 years now. She's the only therapist I've ever done good work with, and she's wonderful. And she's retiring next week, and that's heartbreaking. But I'm a published poet, and I wrote a poem for her the other day. My parents are like over 70 now. They're getting a little older. You know, little frustrations when you get old and all that. I was thinking about saying, I wrote a poem called My Hope For You. So to go on what you just said, like, your parents can only take you so far. Like, I just turned 40 a few weeks ago.
I just turned 30 now a few weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? We in there, bro.
Hey, I'm ecstatic to welcome you to the club next year.
This shit just starts hurting.
Hey, dude,
You just wake up 40 with that shit hurting.
you just move sideways in bed and it hurts. You know? But no, like you said, your parents only take you so far, and like my therapist gave me these real good, solid building points to like a springboard point, you know. And I was able to write this poem here today, actually.
Every time you come to the shop, you write on Fridays? Last time you came, you wrote.
Man, I'm writing every single second of the day.
I gotta get back on my
Can't
bars.
stop addicted to the shindig. You know, it's all like I'm up there editing, moving commas around, work. Like I can't stop, man. It's my favorite thing to do. I love it.
Fantastic. I think last time we spoke about the poem. So what's the poem for your parents? Because it sounds like you keep dancing around saying this poem. So I'm gonna let you say your poem.
It's
And then
called My Hope For You.
We gonna get a poem today, bro. That's
Oh, I can't remember it, but I do.
Oh, now you fired, bro. Yo, you're the second white dude I had to fire from the show today. First one was Scrapes, now sister.
I do have quite a few of my poetry memorized.
Nah, I want that one. I want the one for your parents, the one that's on brand. The other poems ain't on brand. I don't want no. Don't try to look and when you come back, give me the parent poem, or you out of the barbershop. You pick me up the phone.
It's on my phone. Give me a second. I'll read it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Gonna come in here. I got a poem for my parents. It's all on topic, and then he's like, "But I don't know it." Fuck out of here, man. Why would you even share some shit that you can't share with the
It's
fuck?
called My Hope for You. That one day, whether alive or dead, and walking golden fields where my dreams pass by in the clouds, that you both dwell forever inside of a beautiful home which never took a break from love, where your shouting and cursing hasn't buried itself inside the walls like termites causing damage unseen until the foundation must be replaced. I'm too idealistic, right? Here. Listen to the good kid, Mom. Go ahead and take Dad out on your father's boat, out on the Long Island water calm and undisturbed within you. Free up your collective lungs. Heal like he showed you.
Are you from New York too?
No, I'm from here.
You from here? You from Herndon? I'm about to say, because New Yorkers love saying where they from. You done said Long Island about 7 times. Most I heard Long Island was...
Massapequa.
That's what I'm talking about. So you said that women, so for you it was, what was the lesson you learned from your mom? Well, not lesson, what was the thing that your mom did? Was it talking about your grandparents? Or how did that affect you as an adult?
I don't know. Nobody,
Yeah, but give me- you just told me you didn't like
it, right? Nobody's perfect. We
Oh.
all got our crosses to bear. Nobody's good. Nobody's great at everything, right? And so you gotta learn how to give grace in life, right? You gotta learn how to. It's like a little cliche, but like live and let live, right? Like do what makes you happy, let somebody else live and do what makes them happy. And it's simple, but people can't do it. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, because if your living impedes on my living, then F you, man. You know what I mean? Like, as long as I can do what I want to do and it don't impede on me, you good. But you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I tell my kid, I only have lessons I give my kid. They're lessons for me that I share with my kid all the time, but they actually are things I tell myself. It's actually a Joe Button line that I fucked with. He was like, everyone's storm is different, so this forecast is only mine, right? Yeah. And I like that idea, but I want to tell my kids, like, everybody has a storm, man. Everybody's carrying their own little dark cloud and their own thing that they're going through. But the only rule is you can't let them get no rain on you, right?
absolutely.
That's my only thing is that everybody's storm is different, and you don't know what other people are going through, and you don't need to know, but just assume that everybody has a storm that they're dealing with on their own time. But the rule is how they deal with it. They can't get they storm on you. I can't have a bad day at work and come home having a bad day with you because I've already, you know what I'm saying? I gotta come home. My storm is mine to deal with. I gotta deal with you on my own terms, and I'm not allowed to bring my other things into it. The same way, and I'm your father, right? So like other people can't do the same thing. I mean, I don't know. We don't know what your kid's gonna have to recover from, bro. But I hope that at the very least, she ain't gotta recover too much from me. That's what I'm hoping. You know what I'm saying? But I got some things to me too, Brody. I don't know. Let me go. I want to ask Green the same question today. Hey man, welcome back. I ain't seen you in about 6 weeks. So first off, you know what I'm saying? What up, son? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And this thing is, this is Mike, bro.
All my ditties here.
Hold on.
Mike?
I don't think you're allowed to say Diddy on YouTube no more.
That's crazy.
And YouTube flags you.
I forgot.
They flag you.
I don't know if they flag you, but I just forgot that. Like, I can't even say that. Like,
Come on,
that's-
Diddy. Say it to my Diddy.
What are we supposed to? Okay. The mic don't work.
No, it wasn't on when you said
Oh, okay, bet.
All right, so question, bro. The first thing is, what's a life lesson that you're most grateful for?
It's a good question.
Oh, first off, this is my brother Green. I got red behind the camera. This is my brother Green right here, you know what I'm saying? Color life, you know what I'm saying? He don't do this, but I would do this for red. For red.
Not at all. I don't do that.
I'll do this for red.
I ain't gonna set trip on camera. That's crazy. That ain't
I
my
got a
set.
picture. Brother, I sent you the picture yet? I got a picture of him throwing up PDP. He throwing up PDP in like 98, 2002. I don't know.
It never happened.
I got
Never
the
happened.
picture.
Nah, me.
Best
Was he
picture
wearing
ever.
green?
I'm gonna send it to the chat
Was
later.
he wearing green?
Nah, he
But
wasn't
anyways,
wearing green. That's crazy.
that's not me. But well, life lesson. Now that's a good one. Life lesson.
Because there's so many great life lessons.
Nah,
I
one
just
you're
said
most
something. I only could go to one that I remembered the most. I think the one right now that my mom told me that makes sense, because I want to do something smaller. She says she never pays for luxury. She pays for convenience and quality. And I thought that mattered so much, and it means something because a lot of people want to get like all these luxurious things, and they just look at things with labels and not thinking about the convenience or quality that is bringing to your life.
To your life.
That's all she cares about. Is this bringing quality to my life or convenience to my life? So she don't pay for luxury. And I was like, that's real.
So, like, you be looking, I think a have-not, you would look at it and be like,
Yeah.
oh, man, she got that fancy thing. She's like, no, I just like having the hot tub right there in the room because I want to
That's
go
convenience
to the hot
and
tub.
quality.
Yeah. That's,
Because
Nah,
she's
I
coming
don't
from, you're talking about a woman who came from Haiti and their bathroom was the beach. And I be telling like, she talks about Haiti from a class level. She talks about how, yeah, she was the only, she's like, yeah, we had a car. Think about that. Think about that. It's like, we had the truck. Not that we had a car. We had the truck that was the transportation to get the people from the village to the major city.
hey, Cab, did you turn the music back on? Yeah. Yeah, but I just don't want to get flagged. You know what I'm saying? The whole
That's
idea is
true.
to get flagged. It's okay because I didn't interview you because you a bad host. You ain't start the show.
Somebody said you was a bad interviewer in the comments. I yelled at her. First of all, you ain't supposed to be here.
I'm a bad interview.
And then Chuck, or somebody, I think his name was
Chuck
He's
would
like,
give.
he was just like, yeah, man, this is Chuck, man. He's saying he's Chuck. You better recognize
I
me.
don't know. Chuck will come here. Chuck will come here and swing on me. He said, "You're a bad interviewer." What? What I do?
Chuck didn't say that. It was some random.
Oh, I thought Chuck said I was
And
bad.
then Chuck was just saying, hey, shout me out.
My bad, Chuck. You was mad. You was mad, Chuck.
But I saw that before I walked in. Because I forgot you had the show. But anyway, yeah.
So you said the luxury. There you go. I got you, bro. I'm sorry. The luxury versus convenience and it was convenience and peace.
Oh no,
and
I
not
was
luxury.
giving a story to background. When you're thinking about someone who's coming from a village, a small village in northern Haiti, right, on
Yeah.
an island where they go to an outhouse that's in the sea for a bathroom, and they have things that might look rural or remedial to people who are in America at the time. She's coming over here, gets herself into a different place in life, and she's like, yes, I think of things as convenience and quality. I don't think of things as in luxury, because she was looking at things in the same way over there, as having like the convenience of this or that.
So the scope of it wasn't about. We have an American scope of like
Yeah.
these things. She's like convenience and quality. I've never measured it by how expensive and like top of the
it's
line.
not about expensive. It's like, I don't want this because it's expensive. I know that I measure the convenience or quality of it. And I was like, that's a great thing. And that's a practical thing versus something like a lesson that I would learn is like having the spirit to be courageous. Because I feel like
How the
that
hell
comes
did you learn
from,
that?
I think that comes from my mom, clearly.
What if you had to put something to it? Like if you were telling
Understanding her story, understanding my family's story. It's like they came from this island and came over here, and all of them did something with themselves. And it's because it was like,
what are we gonna do if we
no, it's like, what are we here to do? This is supposed to be opportunity, so I'm gonna find the opportunity. I'm gonna work to get the opportunity.
That's,
So
I can't disagree with that because
Yeah.
your ass been on your grind since I've known you. So the podcast today is actually how heavy are the words of your mother, and the reason I brought that up is because I watched the podcast.
I was just talking about my mother.
Yeah, so but I was talking about it in the sense of the things your mom can say can affect you positively, but it also can affect you negatively. What's something that was said to you as a child or growing up that as an adult you're like, you know what? I probably didn't need those words like that. I probably didn't need those words like that. There was probably a better way you could have said that to me. From your mom specifically though.
Just in general, I'm gonna say, Mummy has this thing where we all respect everything that she says. She has this Felicia Rashad,
All right, brother.
Toni Morrison, I know
Nigga,
everything aura.
nigga, I still don't put salt on my food. Listen, I still, to this day,
Do not put
when
salt
they
on my
bring
food.
me food,
I
I
don't
do
want
not
salt.
salt the food.
Do
I do
not
not
eat
salt the
salt.
food. Whatever's in the food is what we eat.
When we
I do
eat-
not salt.
She said that if we put salt in the food, we go.
it'll make you remember some. It'll shrink. What is it
It'll
called?
give you ED, erectile dysfunction. Salt will give you erectile dysfunction.
She said it. I don't know if she was joking. I didn't
dead
even
ass.
Google it. I don't care. Your mother said
said it?
I've never Googled it. I've never Googled
She-
it. I just stopped salting my
She
food.
still tells us stuff. She tells Kathy's a grown woman, like with children that she's raised. She says to this day, when she says things, you feel like you're either gonna disappoint her, or because there's like that guilt trip thing.
Yeah.
You feel like you're either gonna disappoint her, or like she must be right.
She has
She's
to be right.
about so much.
She
things.
has to be right.
She be wrong. She be
I don't
wrong.
know. I've never experienced it because I just do what she tells me to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your thing for you? What's something your mother said to you that
I can't think of something specifically right now. I'm just saying in general, she has said certain things which might not
that's
apply
not
to
the
my
podcast.
life.
The podcast is in general.
Because I
the
can't
podcast.
think. I can't think of anything.
Then you need to think. Take a second to shut up and think about what I asked you.
Take a
Answer the
second to
question.
shut up.
Look, I don't know. I just shut up.
I think
about
pretty quickly, and I can't pull
it.
anything.
You think quickly?
Yeah.
Who the fuck told you you think quick? What bitch?
What? Some bitch told you that. Some bitch told you that.
Who the fuck told you?
Somebody told you that shit. You be thinking quickly.
Yo, they be rizzing you up, man. They be in college.
Raising me up,
You
great.
see smart.
Nah, but if I pull it up, let me try to make something up.
This nigga really think he Professor Green. Like, Professor Green's a genius.
No,
Your
no.
dumb ass been thinking something.
I'm thinking about some shit. I'm just talking to you, bro. Nah,
I would say
can't come up
the
with
thing
that.
that, the thing that probably fucked me up the most ever, right? I don't think I've told it. I'm gonna say it on camera because it's fucking
Yeah.
horrible. But I was with my grandmother one time, right? I was young. I was young enough to like we did like I was laying in bed. I had my own room, but I was like it was like a treat to lay in bed and watch TV with her, right? So it was like a night laying in bed with her. But I think she'd been drinking. She was drunk, and I don't even think I was in my double digits yet. I might have been like 9. And she was drunk. She was talking to me. And she's like, I'm like cuddling my grandma or whatever. And she was like, nobody wanted you when you were a baby. Hold on. The purpose of this was,
no.
before I tell you the story, I'll tell you the story first. She was like, nobody wanted you. And I'm thinking like, I'm 9. Like, what the fuck? She goes, you were sick. You were really sick. You were on tubes and shit. You were in the hospital. And when you came home, someone had to take care of you, like hand and foot had to take care of you because we didn't know if you were gonna fucking make it. And nobody wanted to do that
Little
shit.
ass.
Nobody wanted that shit. And then the way I was born was so fucked up that my mom didn't want me. She didn't want to touch me. She didn't want to see me because it reminded her of what happened, right? So my grandmother took me. She was like, I'm the only reason you fucking here. Nobody wanted your ass. Your mother didn't even want you, right? Now the reason she said this was
heavy.
because she didn't feel like I was loving her enough, like I treated her well. So her purpose was to make me appreciate her more. What she could have said was, I need you to appreciate me more. Instead, she tells me this horrid birth story about how nobody
You were dying.
and so
I know.
in my mind, like, so my mom at like 15,
What does that do to you, like mentally, though?
and when my mom tried to tell me the story, and she like sat me down, she's like, "Hey, I want to tell you something," right? And she's like gently bringing this to me. I'm like, "Actually, Grandma told me when I was about 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Grandma told me when she was drunk one night. She's like, oh, fuck. You know what I mean? Like, why would
She told
tell
you a whole different
Yo,
story.
she told me the truth because my mom was gonna tell me as a teenager when I
Oh,
could process
okay,
it better.
okay.
What my grandma told me during a drunk stew
When you were 9 years old.
when I was 9 years old.
Watching Soul Train in the middle of the night.
I think it might have been like fucking
MASH.
Nah, in the heat of the night. You know that fucking Mr. Tibbs? You will call me Mr. You never seen that?
Yes, I know what you're talking about,
Nigga,
but
that's-
it's just crazy, the crazy shit that they be watching.
That and they all watched it. The
They
cult
all
followed
watched it.
And they only went on TV because
Every
the old ladies,
grandmother watched the same thing.
the fucking Walker. And
What
Heat of the
grandmothers,
Night.
wait, but you see, grandmothers are younger now. My mom's a grandmother. It's like, what do they watch?
They travel.
They travel and they watch YouTube.
They
Like-
don't watch. No one watches TV.
Nobody
anymore.
watch TV. That's true. But
No
if you
one
watch
watch TV.
YouTube,
They watch YouTube.
as you
for
should,
sure.
you should like and subscribe. If you see us, we're having a very deep conversation about how words impact us. Like and subscribe.
Yeah, that's what Green does. He comes through and he runs the podcast. Nigga, you take my people and talk to them like that.
Like
again.
and subscribe.
Is that like a soundbite?
Like and subscribe. You gotta let them know.
Yeah.
You gotta let them know.
To like and subscribe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's important.
Did you tell them
subscribe-
that?
Can you subscribe and like?
No, you only could like. You realize that you only could like and subscribe. You can't subscribe then like. It make no sense.
Why would you subscribe and not like it if the like and the subscribe?
No, but why would you? Yeah, you can't subscribe first. That's crazy. You ever just went to someone to subscribe to something? You didn't like it?
I've subscribed to people's channels simply because I know them.
Oh no, but that makes sense. That makes sense. That's different. That's different.
So I can see the growth.
You subscribe to my channel?
Yeah.
Rap
Red
Latte?
Yeah. I followed
I'ma
it.
check.
When it showed up, I followed it.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'd be mad that you don't do Professor Green stuff enough. You know, if we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it all the way. Professor Green is probably the greatest thing you've ever done.
I got a lot of jobs, man.
No,
Got a
no,
lot
no,
of
no,
hats.
no. Yeah, but they all suck. The one that's amazing is Professor Green. Like, I've supported you your whole
lot of
life.
hats.
The only one that I actually...
And all these other fools out here breaking down lyrics because of Kendrick Lamar. He ruined the game, man.
He's everywhere.
He ruined everything. It's actually his fault. It's the one guy, Cole Dissect, which I was talking to him about it. It's like, you made everybody want to like listen to these lyrics and break down stuff like that. Now every idiot thinks that they could do it, and it just pisses me off. So if I'm being real with you, I'll be looking at people and be like, you're stupid. And then I just move on with my life.
I watch I send you the videos because I be wanting you to like tear into the videos. I send you videos all the time of like people talking
The
about
rec
lyrics.
video. Oh yeah, I gotta check that out.
Because I don't actually care. So I want you to talk about it.
So I can
Not
get-
you, Professor Green to talk about it. So I say, yeah, man, look at this. This is what Professor
see?
Green said. I look
You're an
legit.
idiot.
I legit prefer speaking with Professor Green about things. Like,
This nigga cannot not hate on me. Like even
don't-
when he's trying to give a compliment,
I'm only
it
giving
has
you a
to
compliment.
be clouded in hate.
I just feel like Professor Green is such a good
Hey man, thank you, bro.
character.
Thank you, man. Thank you for your.
I don't hate you all the way. I just dislike
like you
90% of the things about you.
don't hate
All of
you.
you. It's the 10% of Professor Green that you've done.
It's this area
Now,
here.
you know what it is, to be honest with you? It's such a cool take on things that you've done before, because I always have these conversations with
You're
you.
like Ish from Joe Button podcast. Like Ish and Joe Button, they be hating. Actually, you're more like Joe Button because Joe Button be hating
Definitely
Ish for
like
no
Joe.
reason.
First off,
I'm
meet
Ish.
anybody on Joe Button. Let's meet
You
anybody
are
on
like
Joe
Joe
Button
Button.
podcast. I'm definitely Joe
Shout
Button.
out Joe Button. He's the
Shout out
reason.
the mouse, man. They don't respect you.
Huh? I know nothing about that.
That's not on the microphone. I'm not gonna. I can't. I don't support
He's
that.
Joe Button. I didn't say I was Joe Button.
I didn't say I'm doing everything Joe Button is doing. I'm just saying positionary wise.
I'm just saying the reason why black men have podcast mics partly is a lot goes to Joe Button.
He's Godfather.
So he's the reason why all
Godfather
these
of
red
podcasts.
pill fools. Let's talk about these red pill fools.
The guys that hate women.
Yeah. How do they feel about their mothers? What do you think?
Do they have both parents? Like we had a hypothetical red pill guy. Does he have both parents? Or is he raised by his
I feel
mother?
like it's 50-50 because statistically I think it would be that.
So if he's raised by both parents, he would say that his mother was more emotional or his mother was more submissive and didn't have a voice. So she either was super quiet and followed the lead of her father, which made him be this alpha male. I'm a man because my mother has always been a woman. Or my mother talked too much and yapped a lot, and that's when my father wasn't in the house. And this is what I learned from it is that women need to be quiet so that my father can move on. That's like,
And that's how they would identify
that's
with
the
that
real
culture.
deal. I feel like, if you really look at it, at some point, or they're just ugly, right? Because reality is that
Maybe
everybody's
it's not
just
even ugly. It's just not valuable to who they're trying to attract. Because sometimes it might be a status thing while you ain't getting any
No, but
attention.
like in women,
It might be
well,
'cause you ugly
you're
as
right,
hell
you're
that you
right.
ain't getting
You're right.
attention.
It's an attraction thing because
attraction.
it's not just a physical look. Because the thing that they said psychologically
get
that a
women.
woman literally. A man is invisible to if a woman to find a man attractive.
Invisible.
He's invisible. Like
Facts.
she doesn't even factor in. That's why they say things like, "Where are all the men at?" Like I was in the gym. The
Whole
gym.
man, whole bunch of dudes.
I'm in the gym.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of women that go to this gym. Bunch of women that go to this gym. They're all
Yeah.
very good looking. And there's guys that go to the gym too, right? And they're not like hideous dudes and they're not hitting on the women and stuff. They're just working out. They're in there working out, right? She was like, ain't no guys in here. And I look over at the floor and there's a bunch of dudes
Bunch of dudes.
working out, right? Just not worried about women. Ain't no dudes here. So I'm like, if they holler at the girls, they thirsty.
Yeah.
If they don't holler at the girls, they're zesty. Now they're saucy and they zesty and they you know what I'm saying, they ain't really into it.
Or they invisible.
Or she literally didn't see that there's a bunch of
Ten men.
I can't believe that. I can't believe that. We both were sitting next to each other looking at the gym.
It
She's like,
it
"Ain't no
makes
guys
sense to me.
here."
I pointed that a few times, just communicating with either my cousins or female friends, and I'm like, there's like they're talking about dudes in this way, and I'm like, there's like 7 guys here right now who might be eating or something, and they're like, yeah, but not that.
Those are the guys.
Not that.
Why would I want? You know, me and Red were talking about the other day. Remember the joint with the floor? There's like, it's a comedian said. She was like, they go into the joint. They have a store now.
You don't think men are that way though at all?
that they
Like
don't
we don't
women?
see women that we're not interested
Lies.
in? I'm wondering, you don't think that?
No, not
We
at all.
see women
Not
that
a
we're
little
not
bit.
interested in.
Not a little bit. Even when the ones you're not interested in.
So you're saying we see women that we're not
Every
interested
woman,
in?
yes, every woman,
Every single woman.
every single one.
I could
we-
agree with that.
We we see every woman. We don't miss a beat. We don't miss a crumb. We don't miss nothing. Every
see
time.
them all. That's
Like,
facts.
I don't even know. It's not even an attraction thing. We just naturally, I think, we just notice the women in them.
Yeah, we
And
do.
because if men didn't notice every woman, there'd be no such thing as work
Or
hot.
is it feminine energy?
Do you think that work hot originated from a woman?
The what?
Work hot.
Work hot? Oh, work hot, like someone being work hot.
well, that's only hot at work.
I haven't had a corporate job in so long, I didn't understand what the hell you're talking
the
about.
work hot the concept of someone
Being
who's
work
only
hot.
attractive at work because
Yeah.
of what's available at work did not originate from a woman. That is
No.
literally a man's thing. That lets you know work hot was like, she's hot for work.
For work. Yeah.
Oh,
or
so-
the idea of someone being like a Texas 7 and a a New York 7, but a Texas 9 or whatever, however it works.
Yeah, or even like, the cute joint from the subway. Or remember, I think me and Red was driving home. There was a construction girl for a while. We used to drive home, and the construction girl was cute. And me and Red both noticed the same construction girl. We never drove by at the same time, but both knew who the construction chick was because we looked every day.
And she was a construction girl, not a construction
girl.
lady.
And we drove by, and we knew. Hey, you see the joint? Yeah, yo. That's
crazy.
Construction joint, subway joint, work hot. Like these concepts.
Lady
let
cop.
these concepts are only cementing the fact that men notice everyone. They don't miss a
No,
single
no,
woman.
I didn't disagree with you. I was just posing the question.
But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up just because now I'm getting on a tangent. We do gotta do another pod. We gotta do hey, we doing Nigga Turtles this week? Today?
I'm here today. I'm here today.
Yeah, I gotta go to the gym. We can do the pod tonight because I got all this.
When you going to the gym?
I gotta go to the gym in DC. I gotta cover these classes because
Same guy?
no, it's not the same dude. This is another guy. So we all don't know. I got a situation with it. For months, I've had this one guy who just hasn't performed.
Hasn't showed up.
And it's just, and at this point, my brothers are tired of hearing this.
Don't like him.
They're tired of the story. So anytime something goes wrong at work, everybody assumes it's this guy, which actually is part of the reason why, as a manager, I feel like I failed. Because I'm like, had
is
I
you.
managed him better,
It's on you.
it wouldn't have affected the business that way. Where every time something goes wrong, it's literally they're like, oh, here it goes again. Like nothing can go wrong. We've used up all the cards, all the excuses I can use. I'm sorry. they're all
Why
gone.
can't you just get rid of this person?
Listen, man.
This happens so many times where people be talking about someone that works for them. My cousin was talking about, he's like, yeah, this guy, this Gen Z dude, the way he codes and stuff like that. I'm like, why can't y'all fire people? Is there something where y'all can't fire people?
I got in the pod because I can't in the pod. But no, you can't fire people. It's a process. But you know what I'm saying? Hey, thank you guys for watching. Again, today's podcast was cool. I'm really, it's really cool to have Green come through. Tell them what should they do? What's the thing they need
Subscribe Rap Latte on YouTube.
to do? Nigga, no the fuck you not. You better pay some money. You can't plug your. You can't plug your show.
Wait, what's I supposed to do?
You're supposed to talk about my like and subscribe my
Oh,
channel.
like and subscribe. How you gonna tell me
How you
to
gonna
talk about
plug
you?
Rap Latte?
How you gonna talk? How you
Hey
gonna tell
man,
me
I'm
to
King
talk
Green.
about-
Holla at
Hey,
Rap
King
Latte,
Green.
the King
Rap
Green
Latte
show.
on-
You know what I'm saying?
how many
Hey, I'm doing a
subscribers you
tour.
got? How
I'm
many
going on
subscribers
tour.
you got?
Like 11, 1,300, 1,100.
Yeah, if you come, all 1,300 of y'all come over to Rap Latte.
Subscribe from this bull.
If you want to be over here, he all dancing in the videos. Come on over to Rap Latte.
That's crazy.
Get the
Nah, but they
1,300
got Professor Green
subscribers.
over there. That's like the chillest. That's the
Yeah.
the realest, the illest.
That hard like Bruce Willis. It'll take over 20 niggas to kill the sinners.
Ooh!
Ooh!
We can't say N-word anymore because my auntie watched the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's live. You can't.
It's live. It's live.
It's live. That's all. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Hey, today's podcast went really cool. I got to be like not a professor, but like a therapist today. You know what I'm saying? I think everybody's answer was cool. Scrapes need counseling because he held hostage by his parents. He's not allowed to talk about them. Phil don't know what they did. Phil don't know what he won't acknowledge what happened to him. But everybody else, I think, gave a pretty cool answer. I ain't talked to Kev because Kev skipped out on his interview. So Next Friday, hopefully we can get Kev to talk. Thank you guys for watching. You know, like and subscribe as always. My brother Green is here. You know what I'm saying? Rap Latte and King Green. You went on tour too, right?
Yeah, January 22nd.
January 22nd till...
Jupiter, Florida is where it starts. We all over, East Coast, Midwest.
No one can hear what you're saying, but he's saying a bunch of dates. He's saying a bunch of dates and stuff, but he's on tour. And, you know what I'm saying? Catch him on Friday.
They can't follow. You know what I'm saying?
I did.